Hi!
Hi!
Most of you know me, I am Derrick West. So, I'd like to talk to you about jobs. I don't have one. I did have a really fun one a while back. I used to work at World of Fun. Anybody here been to World of Fun or worked there at all? Raise your hands. Good, good. So you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I had about the best job there. It was in ride photos, and it was one of those jobs that you love it but you hate it at the same time. The thing I really loved about working there was there's a lot of girls that like to come through on the roller coasters and flash the camera, and then they walk down and be like, "Hey, where's my picture?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't show it. You flashed the camera." "Well, did you see it?" "Oh, bravo." Then I'd be unfortunate enough to get the technical term I would believe is cougar. The granny flashers. Saying, "Granny, put a leash on the dogs. Come on." There was one that was accidental. She was this old Indian woman, and she got on the ride. Apparently, she couldn't see that her big double J was flopping out. And so her nipple was just like right there in the picture. So I blocked it. She didn't even come down to look at her picture. But I saw her get off the ride, and it was still a little bit out there, you know, to say hi. And I felt compelled to tell her this, but instead of just walking up to her and saying, "Hey, you got something peeking out," I got on the microphone and said, "Your nipple is exposed." Then everybody looks at me like I'm weird. Like, what? And every now and then they put me over at Oceans of Fun at that store that you walk in as you come in through the gate. And that was always interesting because, like, I'd have to watch for shoplifters. Can't even see around the display, so my presence was useless. And then we'd have to check the changing rooms every now and then because there were teenagers that liked to go in there and have a little extra fun. And it's really hard to check those without having to sound like some bratty little kid. "Excuse me, are you guys fucking in there?" Because if you are, I'm telling. "Excuse me, are you guys trying to steal in there?" Because if you are, you're in big trouble. And like every now and then we needed to have a little like night fun because I mean that job gets stressful. So me and my friends would have Slurpee nights and we'd go down to the 7-Eleven on Antioch Road in Kansas City. Not the best part of town. We're just sitting there drinking our Slurpees, watching drug deals. Yeah, that was fun. Speaking of nightlife, I go out here to Molly's here, the local club. Anybody who goes there knows it gets really crowded on Thursdays, and especially whenever a bunch of people from St. Joe like come up, they just like take over the stage, and there's these big burly men that are just like, "I'm a bouncer," not really. And one time I was like trying to get to my friends on the dance floor, and I just bump into this one guy on accident. I mean, it's gonna happen. And I turn around and say, "I'm sorry," and I get this mean look like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." And I'm like, "What do you expect?" I thought that. I didn't say it. Instead, I was just like, "I'm sorry." And he was like, "Oh, it's cool, man, it's cool." Okay. And I really don't know how people dance whenever it's that crowded. I mean, it's like, how does that work? It's even better when people get in fights there. I really don't. Yeah. Kick your ass. Wait till I get my foot up high enough. It's people like that annoy me. Some of my friends, on occasion, annoy me. And like, it's usually just, it starts out as just one thing. And then I sit there and I brood about it for a while and think about all their other flaws. And then they come around me, I'm like, how dare you breathe the same air as me?